Yep.
Alright.
Let's go.
I can't believe you just let me walk up to destroy the thing, though. It took so long to get there.
Very
Why didn't
slow.
she run over and kick me or something?
She's probably scared of your really big multi-tool.
Yeah, that's fair. Bananas. Healing item. Nice. Dark water trails in the distance. There is no way out. Alright.
The plain red tent stands by dispassionately. The tent looks old, but well maintained. In the darkness of the tent, a rolled-up sleeping bag, cooking utensils, some books, and a kerosene lamp. It reeks of cigarettes. Assorted soft covers, mostly pulp horror. A motor carriage lies buried in the snow on one cover. On another, a ghost airship. You also see a collection of radio enthusiast magazines.
See anything?
Rager Monthly, Journal of Material Science. More Technological Digest. One of the magazines doesn't have images on the cover. It's not a magazine. It's a leather notebook. You pocket the worn brown leather journal.
We should read this immediately. Like, right now.
Yeah, I know what immediately means, Gil. So I'm wondering if we're gonna leave, apparently, if the Death Squad guys are allegedly out there.
A thick journal. The cover is worn like someone used to carry it around in their back pocket. It's made of full-grain leather. The lower left corner of the back cover sports an embossed brand name. Schneller. Schneller is a stationery brand from Gottwald, beloved among architects.
It definitely... Engineers. I'm raising some questions now about a lot of the game at this point had been like trying to do decent police work and be like a good cop, but the revelation that we're also apparently like an enforcer for the drug agency. It's not just like, okay, the good cop that lost his wife and went nuts and got amnesia, but like actually was a very shitty person before this, seemingly. So
yeah, very evil.
She's got good taste.
I was a corrupt cop the whole time.
She recorded.
Yo, 20 XP from looking at the cover though. Let's fucking go. Hell yeah.
I wonder when we're gonna have to talk to Kim about it.
Yeah.
The journal falls open. About 2/3 of its ruled pages have been filled. The large cursive of someone who writes quickly and confidently. It's a mix of logistical notes, diagrams, and personal reflections, all dated.
It's good she left in a hurry. We could learn a lot from this.
Hard to tell exactly. It's mostly noted down in code. Looks like contact information, quantities, directions.
There could be useful information about local operations in those notes. We have a junior sergeant at my station who's good with codes. I can give this to her after we finish this.
Okay,
esoteric radio technology. The most recent ones probably pertain to the latitude compressor, sketches, calculations of distance and density. You make out a familiar spiral shape, short wry observations of people and places, probably a way to pass the time on the road. Also, what appears to be attempts to sort through some difficult decisions. There are a few passages with many questions in them. The first entry is from August 2nd of last year. It reads simply, I know my position is precarious. All I can do is make myself as useful as I can while looking for a way out. Remember, no one is indispensable.
They did also mention that she was running from like a previous organization that killed people, so I wonder if she was also previously a member of the Puta Madre gang.
Nothing.
Yeah, or something 4th. At least.
March 5th, though. Well, that's bound to come back and bite me in the ass. I'm bad at this. Loyal to a fault. But that's another matter entirely. She is referring to betraying her previous employer. Does this suggest she did it in self-defense? That name isn't mentioned as far as you can tell. Small wonder. Would you talk about La Puta Madre in your journal? You do see an M, though. La Puta Madre. M is mentioned on March 9th and March 15th.
Okay,
great.
Give them to me.
M's peon is coming to town.
Okay, yeah, it sounds like that's very accurate then.
Yeah.
But
definitely
also,
right.
I feel it in my gut to finally put a bullet in my head while I'm napping in my lorry or on a smoke break. Well, I won't stick around just to twist my own neck by constantly looking over my shoulder. Then again, isn't that what I've been doing ever since I got the call? Been holed up here for 3 days now. I'm used to being alone and all, but I don't know when I'll be able to leave, or if I'll be ratted out. They will rat me out, of course. I've made it a point to believe in the best in people, the boys, for example. But experience tells me, did M feel truly betrayed by me? I was feeling threatened. He'd have to know if he threatened people, they'd take measures to protect themselves. Even I know that. Economic measures, first of all. Gotta make a living, right? I can still hear his voice in the receiver. Taste the plastic. The entry ends abruptly.
Alright, well.
The most recent entry is from today. It reads, even when I leave here, if I leave here alive, what's my next move? Staging a lynching is a crime, even if I'm not accused of murder on top of that. Forever on the run. Not really my idea of the open road. Man, I was really looking forward to winning.
It looks like she might have been framed.
I want to hit both of these, but
I wouldn't go so far as to say that. We have other reasons to arrest her. Besides, I'm not sure her life as a fugitive is going to be much better than Weda's. Especially if she has problems with the Madre.
Am I a puta madre?
No, I don't
There it
think
is.
you are. Ask someone in your precinct if you want to be sure.
He truly does not believe you are. Perhaps he shouldn't be so trusting.
Thanks, Kim. That actually means a lot.
Could have been Titus. Then again,
No one heard the shot. T-Man wouldn't fuck me over.
we need to keep an eye on him.
Yeah.
Somewhere along
Hell
the way,
yeah.
we might have been fed a lie or two. One thing is
Seems like we were
for
fed a fuckload of
We have
lies.
business back in the whirling and rags. Questions to ask. We should get to it.
Okay, damn. Well, we still have all these tasks. So, I mean, yeah, I guess it did say specifically business with the Union and the Union and the cryptozoologist
Yeah.
would come to an end on everything else, which we were talking about before.
Yeah.
Fuck, I still now my thoughts once again return to I wish I hadn't let Joyce leave yet without telling me about the fucking payload to pass that skill check, because that's what matters to me the most of all right now. But
That's fair.
I'm curious if anything's gonna be out here when we just leave. Because, I mean, it was her believing there'd be people here waiting to shoot her, which we don't obviously have any reason to believe that. But maybe? Maybe as being tailed? I don't know.
Longest load screen in my life right now.
Nothing, dude. We're chilling. I mean,
Back to the whirling rags, I think, right?
I could spend a point in logic, though.
That's true.
We're still
It's definitely
still
true.
only really angling for critical success.
Yep. But here we are. We find ourselves at the door to the church.
Look, there's only so many points you can spend in logic until it's capped out.
I understand. I understand. Think about this. If we cap out,
And then we're free.
we won't have a way to reset the check anymore.
Yeah, so then we're free. We can't try it anymore, so we're free.
I guess that's true.
Putting on my logic clothes once more. Logic, 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 logic. Logic. No, we want the logic glasses. I might be wearing
not
them
that hat.
already. I think I'm wearing them. Yeah, I was, okay. I thought we'd have more. Please.
Okay.
Yes, what is it?
17%! We're getting there!
You don't have
Holy fuck. Holy fucking
long
shit.
time ago.
I cannot believe it. I'm gonna eat my whole fucking hat.
I didn't hear a word you said. I shook my head so hard my headset went flying across.
I'm gonna eat my hat. I can't fucking believe you passed that. It's unbelievable. It's fucking inconceivable.
Can I real quick? I was telling you, I was thinking to myself, if this didn't pass by the time we finished this game, I was gonna load that save I made here and just brute force it until I got in here.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't even know. Sorry, you don't have to. You already have a long time ago. What? I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
I don't remember what the skill check said. Whatever.
these thoughts formed in you somewhere in a long-forgotten discussion behind a kitchen table in the evening light. And a woman, she was there too. Her hair smelled of shampoo and she was smoking.
What? That's the origin point of the pail.
What?
Okay.
It's a baby pail.
But Pale isn't here. We're thousands of kilometers from the edge.
That comforts her.
20 meters from the very edge? I don't know what the pail is still. It was only an effect. The transition between the world and that. The pail is an effect. So the world, which is real, and I guess the pail is like the void. Or like a barrier between the world and the void, I guess. Alright.
But in this world,
What is that?
yeah.
It's nothing. No, it's less than nothing. No.
It's less than nothing. The final rest state for reality. Imagine if all this never was.
Then the Pale is...
Gradient.
But the gradient, it clearly hasn't started yet. We're here, and the Pale is not.
One day when it's larger, it will be.
I understand. A theory of the Pale where instead of an outer ocean, it metastasizes, like a cancer or a mold, erupting in points inside the world.
What the
According
fuck?
to this,
Okay.
How long?
So the idea was it seems like the idea was the pail was something that surrounded the world that we live in. But the theory that Harry is now positing is that there are origin points in the world for the pail that are gonna like
Swallow it back up.
balloon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's already started, starting with sound.
And information, causing data losses in the East Insulindian front. Have you considered why it's formed in a church? And also when or how it might start growing, or if it has other effects in addition to sound and data?
I also have a question, since we are piling them up. How do you know this? I'm not doubting you. I'm simply
Kim, it's 'cause I have
curious
14
how the
logic,
people of
dude.
RCM
Where you
Yeah,
been?
Kim, you have no idea how many fucking points we've been putting into this to pass this check.
Oh, the failure of Martinet. I had this thought before. That 2mm. Okay, yeah. I mean, from talking to the Noid, we know that they built the church around it, right?
Of course! A pine wood sarcophagus, or a containment facility of some kind, built by the first settlers. I have considered the same. The bad news is, there were 7 pine
Yeah.
wood churches built in the first decade
Yep.
of the Russian settlement. Most of them were burnt down during the revolution, or repurposed before, during the suzerain. I'm not saying all of them have one in them, but
Some of them might. A black grain hanging in the air.
All the failed businesses. So yeah, it swallows up business
do you think
success.
the presence of that puncture has
Yeah,
somehow
just everything.
influenced the outcome of events here? Even say software development?
Entroponetic history. Once again, this game just makes up words.
I told
Makes
the
up a fucking
producers
word.
we
Yeah,
need to
nobody's
go
ever
and
said
move
that
to a
word
normal
before.
Office building with amenities.
Zay, while I'm
But no,
in this
the
episode just sort of like
artists like the milieu, the
spouting
writers like
outlandish
Hitler.
theories,
Uh-huh.
I
this
told
entire time we're talking about the pail and the black spot,
Uh-huh.
I keep looking up to the top left of the screen to that black fucking triangle we don't know anything about.
Yeah.
Or rectangle, pardon me.
You went back and looked at an earlier video and it wasn't there, right?
It's not in the first episode.
Dude, why
Didn't
is
look
it
past the
there?
first
Where did it
episode.
come from?
It's not in the first episode of the fucking game.
That's you're right. That's now you point that out.
it's-
That's very concerning.
But it's there now. And I don't like it.
I don't like it. Yeah, that's now very ominous to me. I'm very worried about it when you point that out that way. Can I be affected?
You mean Plaisance and the Dice Maker? There was almost no one left when we packed up.
I don't think Nea is playing fair in this game. Oh yeah, she wasn't in the Doom commercial area somehow through weird zoning bullshit or whatever, right? It was.
Yeah.
I don't know. They deserve to know.
Then go tell them.
Okay. I think I've had this thought before.
An amateur anthropomedic police officer. I'd like to say I've heard stranger things, but I'm not sure. This is a hell of a guess, however. Well worded, I might add.
Yes, it is very interesting. But I wouldn't say you know. This is a guess. One that's going to have to be proved by anthroponetic scientists.
I wonder if one of these would have been like, oh, I thought about it because I talked to Joyce and I learned what the pail was.
Yeah.
She falls
If we actually
aside.
knew, yeah, maybe.
Wind blows in through the
Thought
hole
gained,
with
cleaning
the
out the
stain
rooms. I want to learn this
still
thought. That seems like it'd be a cool one to have.
and moist.
Yeah,
I'm
I
going
agree.
to leave that out. But the rest, some of this I can use to start to explain this to the rest of the team. Maybe I'll sound mad, but
Man, you will certainly sound mad.
one more thing. Maybe a club for anodic music isn't the worst thing you can erect around this particular point in space.
Perhaps not.
Yeah! Once the light is on in the universe, it will never go out.
Thank you.
Fucking egghead.
Let's leave it at that, shall we?
Oh, Kim.
The radio
An anthropology
ghost.
section to perform in this district.
That was from like the 5th episode, I think. That was so long ago,
Yeah.
man.
Creepy woman.
Oh my god.
We were wondering about that when we worked there, but I had completely forgotten about it ever since. It must be anthroponetic crosstalk, the one you get in radios and long-distance calls. Now it makes sense, with the pail right on the doorstep.
Incredible. This would also explain why we get it on the police radio all the time.
Anthroponetic
It's quite
crosstalk.
common, actually. When the signal gets routed through pail, all kinds of irregularities take place. You may hear snippets of someone else's conversation, or the voice of your former lover, or an echo of an event that took place 100 years ago. Pale is a shroud of memories.
This is a weird fucking
and it doesn't
world,
Yeah.
man.
distinguish to whom those memories belong to. You could hear anything. Anytime.
All right. Okay, I wanna hit you with something. I just wanna hit you with. I'm gonna save the game. I wanna know more about the pail. We know we can get it from Joyce. I'm gonna load a fucking old save.
Alright.
I just want to go through Joyce dialogue and see if we can learn anything about the pail. Because now that has me like so fucking intrigued. I don't know.
But I just like... We went through all of the dialogue options
she
with Joyce.
had that tree that was like explain the world to me. It's entirely possible that like one of the like sub options in there that we didn't pick would have like elaborated on something further that would have expanded into it, and I just ignored it at the time or just didn't pick that option or something like that. Because it to me it seems clearly evident the game told you Joyce could tell you about it. So
Yeah,
She
maybe.
is.
My fear is that like...
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
question of
Questions about
reality.
reality.
Basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead.
Tell you
ask
about
me
the world,
anything.
maybe?
What world? The only one, I suppose. The world of matter. And its pale antipode.
Well, she said
The
pale.
camera of her mind glides over the surface of the water.
Maybe because I said,
Great
what do you
bodies of
see?
Water. Forest-covered surfaces. Clusters
Yeah.
of light where the cities lie. You've seen the montage. We all have. This world is enough.
A frisson lifts the hair on the back of your arm. Wind sweeps the
I mean, clearly I
surface of
picked
the
these
brain.
options
The
before.
world is a society
Yeah, I feel like we gotta be...
There is a term of endearment they coin for it. Elysium.
I'm
It
just gonna-
does. A term of hatred that
Yeah, I
originates
feel like we-
like many such things.
Probably right
The
here.
Mesk petro-fascists.
Don't feel like I got the whole picture yet.
Oh, you want a picture of the world? There is no complete set yet, dear. There
Oh my
have
god,
been
I think
some
it's right
trouble
here, and I
reaching
just
orbit.
probably, after talking to Joyce for like 3 hours, got like bored of the backstory stuff.
Great things are difficult to achieve. For now, we're viewing the world from the inside, sideways.
Inside sideways.
We used to think it was a sphere, but that is beginning to look less and less likely by the day. You wouldn't know it from the tabloids, but the ORG nations have been launching weather balloons into the lower ionosphere since the 30s.
ORG, Occident Revischol-Grad.
There's a steadily increasing trickle of images. Between the big three scientific contributors, they're piecing together a dark grey corona. Yes. Pale covers 72%.
Dude, we're
of the
fucking
surface.
stupid. I'm fucking
There
mad.
are grey flares and prominences, even arcs above
Yep.
entire isolas. The images are blurry, but if there was a sphere in there, it certainly looks like it fractured a long time ago.
A cold fear seeps into you.
Oh my god,
There
wait,
it
what
is.
the hell are you
You
telling
seem
me?
to be spooked. Please don't be.
Tell me about the pale.
There it
Say
is.
There is a rarefied envelope of matter surrounding the darkened disk of our planet. That is, if we are still living on a planet. Or, to speak more plainly, imagine vast swathes of land disrupted by nothingness.
I honestly am losing my mind right now that we were literally one dialogue option fucking from finding out like this weird cool thing about this setting probably 25 hours ago of game time, and just like got to that option and I was like, whatever. Like, fuck. God damn it,
Yeah.
dude.
Wow.
There's a rarefied envelope of matter surrounding the darkened disk of our planet. Speak more plainly, imagine vast swaths of land disrupted by nothingness.
I am sorry, dear. It must sound quite terrifying through the acute encephalopathy. Even scientific positivism isn't entirely convinced about what we're dealing with here. But this is one of the greatest questions of our time. Maybe when they get the complete set together, it will jolt us out of our rut, bring us together, however naive it may sound.
Set together. Fractured corners, I feel like it's gonna bring anyone together.
You have misimagined it. I don't have the power to convey to you the effect and geometry of the images that depict our world from below low orbit. It's like the crowning of the world. It's insane. Very disco. You'd love it.
Well, if you say it doesn't.
See, everyone finds something worth holding on to in this world, however wasted its opportunities.
The cold seeps into you. The air is heavy with 80% humidity. Suddenly, you're conscious of yourself standing there, on whatever this all is. Your arms hang down by your sides. The lieutenant observes you both, silently.
Okay,
He
yeah, what is
adjusts
tail?
his
Here we go.
glasses.
The Pale is not, technically speaking, part of reality.
Actually, sorry, real quick though, I want to point out that the box up there in the top left is still there. And now I'm thinking, what if it's just a glitch from the update that came out like a week or so ago? I'm gonna reload the first save I ever have in this game after this just to find out.
Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah,
Also,
maybe.
I think we've had enough excitement for today. We do have a case to attend to.
Of course, Lieutenant. Let's try something else.
No, I want to know what the pale is,
I don't
Kim.
think your colleague would appreciate that. He has
Are you kidding
already
me?
been so patient with this whole exercise. Let's continue with something else, all right? You can ask about anything else in the world. Anything.
All right,
This is
well,
not going to happen with the lieutenant
Oh.
present, unless you can convince.
plus
him
one
to
for
step
Kim
aside.
trusts you. I don't care when I loaded this save from. That is a funny bonus to have
Yeah.
for the way this game has been
Yeah.
going.
Just ask him.
Hell yeah.
He won't make a scene.
I was like, the check is just good idea. Yeah, just ask him. You don't care.
Fine.
Okay.
See? What can
Thank you,
do?
Kim.
You're a grown man.
Are you sure you're sure? Your colleague
Joyce,
seemed adamant.
You have
I'm
no idea how far back in time we fucking traveled for this information, okay?
Okay. The Pale is the most dominant geological feature of the world, Detective. The separative tissue between the islas. It is the interocellular mass. Isla is a Messinian word for a continent of matter, enveloped on all sides by the Pale. Also, isolation, or landmass. We used to believe there was only one. In the last 4 centuries, we have discovered 7. Mundi, Seol, Samara, Ilmara, Grad, Katla, and this, Insulinde. An oceanic isla. It comprises mostly of water. Muindi is the largest, Katla the coldest, Insulinde the bluest. What can I say? Each is perishing and dear. Achromatic, odorless, featureless. The Pale is the enemy of matter and life. It is not like any other, or anything in the world. It is the transition state of being into nothingness.
The negation of being.
That's right. The negation of being.
Is it here? She don't know. We know.
No, detective. We're safe.
She don't know.
It begins there, 6,000
We know.
kilometers to the north, and even more
You're
to
fucking
the
wrong,
south,
Joyce.
east, and west. You are in the middle.
I'm actually really curious if we hadn't thrown Joyce away, knew this intel, found out about that hole, and then came back to Joyce to say, "You're wrong, dude. There's a fucking pale up there. You need to go to this church. It's fucking freaking out there."
An uproar of matter, darling. Rising into the pale. Rolling. Evaporating even. A great vision. The area of transition between the world and the pale is called porch collapse. Imagine a grey coronal mist. Cold vapor marked by spores of an opportunistic microorganism. A mold that's adapted to grow at the edge of the unrest. It's the most disco thing you will ever see.
You hear your pulse rise. The air feels caustic and cold suddenly.
What are its physical
It's
qualities?
difficult to describe, or even measure. Something whose fundamental property is the suspension of properties. Physical, epistemological, linguistic. The further into pale you travel, the steeper the degree of suspension. Right down to the mathematical. Numbers stop working. No one has yet passed the number barrier.
What the fuck does that mean, dude? Numbers stop working.
Numbers
what
stop
the
working.
fuck does that mean?
There's a slippery
They don't
article
work.
there.
What?
Pale
One,
when it's
2, 3,
particular,
4,
this
1.
territory of pale. The pale when it's pale in its entirety. Once you've seen it, language balks at the difference.
Okay.
Oh, it is so difficult for us.
A squall of birds. Hardware operating in the harbor. Firm. Self-evident.
It is possible to force dimensions on the pale. In modern
Yep.
times, we can even
We just had it
compress
happen.
its latitude,
Oh, yeah.
bouncing radio waves from one end to the other, shortening the path. But it is still hard for humans to navigate the pale without getting lost. Or having our minds damaged.
That raises the question then of like how the other nations are able to come here to put down the like revolution.
Yeah.
But I guess
Uh-huh.
they found a way.
Extensively.
I can't believe we spent this entire game thinking it was just a regular fucking Earth with ocean
Yeah.
between
Some
places.
say the damage stems from extreme sensory deprivation. Others argue that Pale somehow consists of past information that's degrading, that it's rarefied past, not rarefied
What
matter.
the fuck?
They call it the blend over of the self. The Pale does not only suspend the laws of physics, but also the laws of psychology, maybe history even. The human mind becomes over-radiated by past.
Who says and who argues?
Who says and who argues?
The
What?
logical positivists say, the dialectical materialists argue.
You just made up words. That's fine. That's fine.
It feels terrible. Absolutely terrible. International standards strictly limit civilian travelers to 6 days of pale exposure per year.
It's more for her. Way more.
Yeah, I remember when she left, she said like, "I'm gonna get blasted by some pale, baby. Let's fucking go." Right? Remember?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, Lieutenant Dubois. I'm entreprenetic business class. I'm cleared and trained for 22 days of pale transit annually.
Someone else you've met may
Wow.
have been exposed as well. The
Oh
strange
yeah,
grey-haired
she left the
woman in her
past.
Yes. Carried in the hulls of airships. It's a horrific job. Automation will abolish it soon.
Huh.
Up to my gills, officer.
An acidic smile on her lips. It's getting worse every year.
Entreprenetics is the scientific study of the pale, or a recent iteration
Okay.
of it by way of Grad. The study of the pale reaches back 6,000 years. The Pericarnassians called it the Western Plain.
They had not traveled the entire circumference of the Pericarnassian Super E-Solar. It was not merely in the west, it was everywhere, even then, surrounding them.
Sorry, I'm just thinking the don't travel the entire circumstance. Huh.
There are signs of pre-modern crossings. Successful navigation of the Pale relies not just on technical know-how, but intensive psychological preparation. Some of these tactics have been known for thousands of years. Nothing. We remain powerless before the Pale. The only real advance in Pale transit is the speed with which an aerostatic craft can pierce it. Less exposure leads to less effects later. Hybrid airships, Detective. Conventional rotors or jet engines no longer add velocity after the point of reference for motion is suspended, once you've crossed from near Pale to far Pale. In essence, we throw them in and they come out the other end. If we throw them precisely. Then they don't.
Gone, like a skipping stone beneath the surface.
How much Pale
The
is there?
Pale outweighs reality 2 to 1. There is more Pale than there is matter, and the ratio is slipping.
Oh, I don't like that.
What do you think, Detective?
There's more and more Pale.
Precisely. One of the few measurable effects of the Pale is that it is expanding at an unknown rate. An intuitive conclusion of that development is that one day the Pale will cover everything. But this sort of talk is mostly left to extremists.
What a fucking nightmare,
Most people,
dude.
and
Holy.
indeed most private and government sector organizations, entire civilizations and religions even, find handy ways to ignore
wow.
or downplay that knowledge. I suggest you do the same.
Gulp.
It doesn't look like you're doing the same. The suggestion was meant
Okay.
in earnest, Detective.
All right.
Live
Don't worry
life.
about it. You got it. It makes me think, like, so she's saying the planet isn't a planet, but they do go to orbit. There are stars, right? So they could, like, it's the planet is covered in Pale, right? Not all of existence, theoretically, maybe?
I guess
Build
so.
a rocket ship. Get
I
the
don't
fuck
know.
out of here. This place
Yes,
sucks.
Sweet reality. But before we do, tell me, Detective, is this the first time you're hearing this? Do you really not remember anything?
Vague shadows of a past, and it's not good.
Then tell me, what do you think of the Pale?
Communism, anti-communism, doesn't sound liberal. Anything of it? Yeah, it's terrifying. That sucks.
Your ailing constitution, sweaty forehead, the beads there, and your heavy breathing.
You really didn't know. This does not spell good for the investigation, Detective. If you don't know even this, then
This is my masterpiece. Don't
I
worry
hope
about
so.
it.
I truly do.
Trust me, Joyce. You have no fucking
If I
idea
may
the
suggest,
adventures that we are in
hold on
for.
to your colleague, Kitsuragi. I ran a check on him and he is very competent. In the meanwhile, you have me. I will assist you in any way I can.
Damn
even
it,
if we have
that's
to do
30
it
XP
one
we're not gonna get on the
basic
real
turn at a
Say.
time.
That sucks. That's a nightmare. That's even worse than the Pales, not getting that 30 XP, man.
Good. You have not passed out from it. Perhaps I worried for nothing. Are we still on the reality lowdown, or should we do actual police
That
work
was
now?
fucking insane, Kim.
Yes, well, the rest of us have dealt with it for thousands of years, so...
It is, like, I mean, it must be a thing that is, like, taught in school, right? So it's
Oh, yeah.
it's weird.
Has to be.
It's conceptually weird to me to, like, imagine, like, an amnesiac guy who wakes up and then, with no basis of reality of understanding the world, his default assumption of understanding the reality of the world is, like, it's a normal world, but he shouldn't have a frame of reference for what a normal world is, right?
For what a normal world is, yeah,
Have
you're
to
right.
deal with it, too, the lieutenant thinks. This is why I didn't want you to know.
All right, let's
Good luck,
get some
detectives.
on it. All right, well, hang on. Oh, the plane creaks me through my weight. All right, I'm gonna reload the first save ever just to see that cube is still up there. Really digging deep. Man, 2 fucking breakthroughs though, back to back with Ruby's Mind Blast wave, the Puta Madra, and then learning about the hell matter that covers all reality. That cube is still there, so
Cube is there.
that's just
The
must
cube is
be a
there.
glitch then
It's
with the
gotta
update
be
or something.
Gotta be a glitch in the
Oh my god,
matrix.
look at little baby Harry though, before he had any of his gear. Oh my god, look at these stats. Oh my god, that's so cute. Look how stupid he is. 4 logic. Fucking dumbass.